Hi, my name is Sydney Egerton, and today we're here at Central State Hospital in front of the Powell Building to talk about the history of this insane asylum. When thinking about this hospital, the only name that comes to mind is Central State Hospital. However, that's not the first name it has been given. Opening in 1842, the first name that this place was given was the State Lunatic, Idiot, and Epileptic Asylum. The institution's name was then changed to the Georgia State Sanitarium in 1897. Milledgeville State Hospital in 1929, and then finally changing to Central State Hospital in 1967.
You never know the horrors hidden behind closed doors. Central State Hospital is an insane asylum located here in Milledgeville, Georgia from 1842 to 2010. At this time, mental illness was not taken seriously. The people that were thrown here against their own will were not able to be given the proper treatments that they needed for their specific illnesses. The patients contained in this hospital were treated horrendously, which led to the downfall of this institution. Patients as well as the children of these patients have been traumatized for the rest of their lifetimes due to the sadistic treatment that they received from the employees there. The people that were able to make it out to share their stories let the world know how truly awful it was. Though Central State Hospital was open for generations, this institution should have never been able to open the doors to the horrors that they inflicted on those who entered, and the downfall of this hospital was fated from the start.
From this core, this institution was supposed to be helping those with mental illnesses. However, during the time that this place was founded, mental health was a joke. So most people that were sent here didn't actually have any mental illnesses. Very much so like the Salem witch trials, if somebody seemed off or crazy, they were sent down to Milledgeville and placed in this institution.
When gardening, if seeds are planted in soil without proper nutrients, there is little to no hope of growth coming from what was hoped to be created, and this is the same case when it comes to building an environment for others. If this environment is built without the proper structure or morals, no good can come from it, leaving it destined for failure before it had even begun, which is very clear occurred with the founders of Central State Hospital.
One of the major contributors to the hospital closing was the overcrowding. The height of this problem was during the 1950s, when there was only one doctor to 100 patients. And for the thousands of patients here at the hospital, there were only 48 doctors and no psychiatrists. There were also heavy drugs being placed on the patients' daily regimens, and very risky operations were being practiced, like bloodletting and lobotomies, which were not up to par with any reputable medical standards.
They were treated like sardines, being packed into a can, since the hospital was experiencing extremely high levels of patients in the facility. Even though it was the largest asylum at the time, that does not mean they were able to contain the levels that they were attempting to contain at the time. The loud and extreme numbers of patients led to the lives of these individuals being very cramped, and everyone was looked over less and less until it seemed like some did not even exist. Due to the mistreatment that did occur there, the new people behind the revitalization of Central State Hospital are hoping for a brighter future for it. There has been work on some of the buildings on the campus of the hospital since 2012, only 2 years after the closing, and in the article Central State Hospital, People, Places, and Programs, one can see all the progress that has taken so far. Quote, within multiple projects, either completed or in progress, Central State Hospital is primed to become a major factor in the Milledgeville and Middle Georgia community once again, unquote. Since the kickoff of this revitalization, Georgia's Agribusiness Development Center, Bosniak Nursing Center, and the National Guard Youth Challenge Academy has all been built on the campus. For the first time, the intentions of the buildings on that hollow ground are honorable.
It is not difficult to see that this institution has changed a lot since 1842, starting as an insane asylum that was aimed at helping those that were clinically insane to harming all the people that set foot in the hospital, then being forced to shut down due to this harm, and finally now being able to foster hope for the first time since the opening date in 1842. Even with the new developments, the past can never be erased, and nothing can make up for the suffering that those that entered experienced. Even though Central State Hospital was open for many centuries in Milledgeville, Georgia, the hospital should not have been able to open in the first place due to the mistreatment of the patients, and the closure of the hospital was doomed from the beginning. We are now here at Cedar Lane Cemetery that has grave markers for those who were lost at Central State Hospital. It is just down the road from Central State, and instead of having names on the little grave markers, they have numbers to keep the privacy for of the patients for their respect and the respect of the families.